that was at a time where, for us to be able to do this, to go on stage, and you go, here they are, whoever announced you, and you just looked at each other and said, see you later on, turn your amp on, stand against it, head down because your hair fell, and that's it, you stayed there all night. And then, because the audience were, when we first went in, maybe 30, 60 or even 100 people, you'd start with a dead audience, as opposed to in the Meccas, we started with a live, really noisy audience who got bored through the night. Whereas this way, we had to start with an audience who didn't want to know, and we had to convert them on that night. So we'd be standing dead still, which was against, we were taught to move in the first place in the match dimming days. We were taught to sort of move and say things and speak to an audience and so on. And then came the movement, the status quo movement, is because when two people, the kind of music we do, the basic drive, well, when two or three of you are moving, and you realise it, by standing next to somebody, if he moves, you go, oh, hey. And everybody starts, hey. And then you see the audience start to like it, so it develops.
It doesn't work unless you open your legs.
Sorry? Mine does.
I want to get a line in.
I just pulled it.
I just arrived.
Right.
Awkward.
Sorry, I mean, that period, though, that's when we really did have the audience on our side then. That was after this period, right? We had the audience on our side, and we was on the audience side, but we didn't have any of the critics on our side, any of the business people weren't on our side, the music industry people. And as Frame said, it's like us against them, the audience and the band against them. We couldn't get the plays, and the audiences became very loyal to the band, and they still are. And of course, when Piledriver came out, I think, well, what was that? That was the year after that, wasn't it?
73.
73. We're up to there, aren't we? 73. When that came out, it was inevitable that it was going to be a hit. I think, and nobody really understood why. I think it took the business by surprise.
The main sort of area that it started in was, I don't know whether you've already mentioned this, was around the London clubs, and especially in Croydon at the Greyhound. That became a sort of a classic gig for us, when we were going to do the Greyhound at Croydon. That was a real biggie for us, because we were firm favourites there. I think we held the house record for some years there, 1,700 or something we had in there,
Just to close the windows up, especially to keep them warm.
And it's only as big as this room, It was a big gig for us. And it gradually spread out then to places like the Winning Post, and broadened. And I think we had our first £300 at Lynx Pavilion in Cromer. First time we ever came out with £300. Freaked out.
That was like in the second section, if you like. We could have commanded that on the Mecca circuit when we went back to saying we're going to work to people to get that kind of money out of 30, to draw people to earn £300. I mean, you had to really draw some people.
Yeah, there's another point we missed actually. That when we were doing all this, when we was an unfashionable band, we had to go out. We had to still work, and we were doing a lot of places outside the country throughout Europe. So this same trend was taken out throughout Europe. People were saying to us, "Oh, you can't go there. You don't sell any records in that place." But we're still going to France, Germany, places like that, building up a following. So when we did inevitably get a hit album, we had a lot of the European people as well ready to take us.
But I think even after the hit album, we went to Margate once, didn't we? And we played to 3 people.
He still owes us 200 quid this time.
Because we were guaranteed a 200 quid. We never got it, Mind you, he hasn't got his club anymore.
It's closed down on Parfitt.
Well, it was knocked down, wasn't it?
No, it's still here, the building.
Is it? Yeah, when we actually played to 3 people. And they were all girls.
All at once.
I enjoyed it.
What about the Great Western Festival? Was that a big thing for you? 72?
The one at Olympia?
No, the one...
Great Western.
It was in 70. It was one of those terrible muddy things.
The Lincoln Festival.
Oh,
that was a good one for us, yeah. At a point, to me, that seems important or relevant is that in those days, we normally get an afternoon spot, right? So you're going in daylight. Now, if there's, 20,000, 30,000, whatever is there, you can see them. You can see to the back. So you've got this complete contact from front to back, side, left to right, so on. As soon as you so-called make it, we went back to do, say, Reading a few years later.
Yeah, over 300 quid a night, you mean?
Over 300 quid a night. And we take the night spot, the last spot, obviously, top OD bill. And there's this problem. Lack of communicating. What's going on? You've got a 40-foot barrier, before the first row of people. And there may be 20 or 30,000 people back there, but you can't see them. And you're just playing to black,
We've
so
always
realised for us, it's daylight, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, we've always found that a problem. I mean, even inside, if you take Wembley, for instance, that's, I think, primarily why we're not doing Wembley on this tour, coming right up to date. It's because of what Francis just said, because you do tend to lose that contact. They're a long way away at the back there, and you can't see them, and it does make it, not as friendly as it could be. And Hammersmith, I think, is one of the governor gigs for that. It's beautiful for audience contact.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I think the status quo has been based on his audience, contact with the audience, and that's why it becomes such a personal thing between band and audience.
It's funny, it's always been female, so if possible.
But funnily enough,
Sorry.
the NEC in Birmingham, which we're going to do,
It's different.
it's basically the same amount of people, 10, 11,000, but it's more of a shell type shape, It's not these huge sides and the high back, It's sort of more shell-like, and it's a very comfortable gig to play. I think it's the best gig in England.
As well.
It's beautiful.
It's built with concerts in mind, therefore it works.
Good sound as well.
Wembley was built for something else, wasn't it? Swimming or something like that.
Anything.
Yeah.
Ice shows.
Yeah.
And things
Yeah,
like
that sort of thing, so that you really are detached.
Five-a-side football.
There's certainly many gigs in Europe that you play. Some will hold 6,000.
I'll finish that.
Some will hold 6,000 and be far too big. And another it will hold, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10,000 and be really nice and comfortable. So there's a lot, and that can destroy your night. You've got no contact with the audience.
Deutschlandhalle, Berlin. Berlin. It holds about sort of 80 million people, and you get 10,000 in there, and it really does look silly, And
Spotted, scattered around.
Yeah,
It's a great
terrible.
big place. There's a lot of those.